This conference will now be recorded.
Only 20%. So text mining importance. So text mining importance is this. Text mining importance is this, that most of the data is stored in unstructured format. For example, you call to a customer care. So when you call to a customer care, you're going to listen that it is your call is being recorded for quality and training purpose. What do they do after quality and training purpose? See, these are some of the examples of your text data. So you can see here it is this old world, there is only 20% structured data and remaining is almost unstructured data. Remaining is approximately unstructured data. So avenues of textual unstructured data. These are some of the examples from where your text data is going to be generated. When you call to customer care, first one, call transcripts. First one called as call transcripts. You can see this call transcripts. When you call to any customer care, your call is being recorded for quality and training purpose. So now whatever the calls you are doing these many days, everything will be automated. So instead of having 10 customer care executives, instead of having 10 customer call center executives, they will have only 2 customer care executives, and all the other calls, whatever has been recorded these many days, everything will be fed into your chatbot. Whatever the questions you ask, everything will be recorded and it will be implemented on your machine learning algorithm. So if you ask some question, your chatbot will reply. So your customer care executives will not be of 10 employees, this might be reduced to 2 employees using your text mining. Using your text mining. Second one, whenever you send to customer care or whenever you send a mail, it is not only to customer service. Whenever you send a mail to anyone, so that mail will be sent in a text format. It will not be in your tabular format. Whatever the mails you are sending, whatever the messages, whatever the WhatsApp chats, everything, so that comes under your text data. That comes under your data. So you might be working in a company, you might send multiple mails in a day to your clients, to your colleagues, to your company, to your manager, to your friends, or whatever it is. Those mail also the source for your text data. Those mail also are the sources for text data. Social media outreach. Because of this, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, everywhere you're going to write your stories, comments, likes, all these things. You're going to write the stories. So everything you're not writing into your tabular format, you're going to write it in text format. You're going to write it in text format. And your reviews, you travel through Uber, you travel through Ola, it will ask for your reviews. You order some food through Zomato, Swiggy, so it will ask for your reviews. So whatever you do, everything is being recorded in a text format. So by doing this reviews, by reviewing these reviews, you can get whether a customer is giving positive review or negative reviews. Negative, so they can try to improve their business based on their reviews. Speech transcripts. If a particular person is giving a speech for longer duration, for example, Modi is talking. Yes, Muralidhar, it is unstructured data. Unstructured data means mixed structured data, or the example, those are unstructured data. See, for example, as I told you, right, you might call to a customer care. This is your conversation and this is a customer ID, for example. So this is your customer ID and this is your see, Muralidhar is the customer ID. This is Bharat and this is Rakesh and this is Imran, like this. This is Imran. So but Murali might have talked 10 lines of conversation with a customer care executive. This is your text data. See, even though it is in tabular format, but it looks like, hello, how are you? I'm having this problem. So I'm using this particular product, but I'm not able to activate this product. All the stories you might have told. So this is your text data. So by reading this conversation column, I should classify whether is Murali is talking positive about a product or negative about a product. Getting my point, Murali, now? This is your text data. Speech transcripts. So consider that somebody is giving a speech. Modi is giving you a speech on Independence Day or Republic Day. what is he speaking about. So everything will be recorded and that will be converted into your text data. So you're going to do your analysis on that. You're going to do your analysis on that. So how many times did Modi speak about Swachh Bharat? How many times did Modi speak about corruption? Like this. So you can get what type of topics or what topics he is speaking when he's giving a speech or something. So that can also be done. Field agents, salespeople, whenever they go to some sales products or something, they'll not talk with respect to your tabular format. They will only speak whatever is there, and also they might show you some brochures, some books, some applications, some pamphlets, everything. So this will not be in your tabular format. This might also be in your unstructured format. Interviews and surveys, questionnaires. You're going to ask some questions, feedbacks. So those are nothing but your text data. Those are nothing but your text data. So these are some of the examples of your text data. So text mining means you are mining the information from this text data. That is the reason it is called as text mining, or you can call it as text analytics. You can call it as text analytics. Now, coming to this slide, bag of words. So this is your English professor. All the world is a stage and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts. So this is your 3-line sentence written by Shakespeare. If you give this to your English professor, probably will explain this to you, these 3 lines for you for 3 days. And also you will prepare one skit, one drama for next Independence Day from students. If you give the same 3 sentences to your English professor. If you give same thing to a statistician or a data analyst or a data science professional, what do? Whether it is written by Shakespeare or whether it is written by somebody else, it doesn't matter for them. So you'll try to identify what type of words is he speaking, how many times. How many times is he taken a word called as world, stage, men. Here you can see men and man 2 times, women 1, players, place 2. So he is going to identify the keywords which have been repeated how many times. Apart from your this, all, the, a, and, all, the, why these words are not included? Can somebody tell? Why these words are not included?
Because they are used most of the time.
Yes, because they are used most of the time. If I ask you what is your name, everyone will tell my name is Murali, my name is Imran, my name is Bharat, my name is Sanjay, my name is Dibanshu, my name is something else, right? My name is. So everyone will use these common words. These common words are called as your connector words. You can call it as connector words, or you can call it as filler words. Filler words. Or you can also call it as prepositions. You can also call it as prepositions, or stop words, So I'm going to not include these stop words. I'm going to include all the important words which are necessarily. Yes, identify the sentiment. Yes, it will not have any insights. Now, so with respect to your terminologies and pre-processing for your text data, you should remember some keywords. I'm going to tell you what are those keywords. Please try to understand. So if particularly there are like this, there is a data like this. So this is Bharat, this is Lahari, this is Ranjini, and this is Ratnesh. And this is the message, or whatever it can be, or reviews. Consider this as a review. Bharat has written 3 lines of reviews about a product called as HP. This is a reviews about HP product. So Bharat has written 3 lines of reviews, and Lahari has written just 1 line of reviews, and Ranjini has written just, she has not written anything, she has just given stars, 3 stars or 4 stars like this. This is also option. And Ratnesh has written 1 word, good. That's it. So each and every single reviews, or you can call it a single row. Don't take it as rows, take it as single reviews, is being considered as a document. So single reviews are called as documents, or in this example you can take it as reviews, but in generally it is a single row is considered as your document. And collection of all these documents, each row is called as document. For example purpose, take it as each review. You might have written 10 lines or 1 line or 2 line or blank, whatever it is. Each review is called as document, and even an empty row is considered as document. Even an empty row is considered as document. Any questions until this point? Until this point, you can just ask me if you have any questions. No, right? Okay. All right. So collection of all these documents means you are collecting. See, Bharat is giving one review, Lahari, Imran, Ratnesh, Sanjay, each and everyone is giving one review. This is called as one document, second document, third document, like this. But collection of all these documents is called as corpus. This is single document. This is collection of all the documents is called as corpus. Single paper is called as documents. Collection of all this book and your collection of all these papers, and you're putting it into a file, that is called as corpus. Quirks of languages. So quirks of languages in the sense, while writing your reviews or feedbacks for Ola, Uber, will you concentrate on your spelling mistake, grammatical mistakes and all? Hopefully no. I don't concentrate, but I don't know about others. But generally, most of them will not concentrate on their grammatical mistake, because it is not your English exam. Neither you write in small letter, bigger letter, whatever you want, you can write it. That is your reviews, right? So while writing your reviews, you might have some mistakes. Like example, typing error. Instead of typing music or muzzle, she might have typed only MUSC. There's no meaning for this. Like you might write in uppercase. For example, somebody will write HP like this. Somebody will write HP like this. Another person will write like this. Another person will be writing in small case, uppercase, and proper case. So terms in lowercase, proper case, and uppercase. What do you mean by proper case? Any idea? Proper case is nothing but first letter will be in your uppercase, remaining letters will be in your lowercase. That is called as proper case. Proper case. And this is your punctuations and special symbols. While writing, you might use some special symbol at the rate, ampersand, or all these things. You can remove all these things. If you want, you can remove all the special symbols and your punctuation marks. And as I told you, filler words, connectors, pronouns, all, for, of, my, and, the, then, etc. All these are called as your filler words or connectors or pronouns. So these are the words which are need to be removed. So it is an optional part. If you don't remove this, probably your data will not be clean. You might have written some special symbols. All this will be there. So that's the reason this is a part of your cleaning process. Stemming. There's a process called as stemming. Remember this. If you explain them that, so they will ask you, have you heard about stemming in text mining? Yes, you should tell that stemming is nothing but process of considering only the stem word. So you can call it as, in a simple words, you can call it as base word. Don't use it as base, use it as stem. For your understanding, I'm telling it as base word. What is this base word? Is jumping. Jumping means you'll write jumping like this. You tell that yesterday I jumped. You will tell that is jumping or is jumps. So jump, jump, jump. Ed, es, ing, ing. These are something like your suffixes you have added. So what is the base word here? The base word here is jump. You should consider only that stem word, that is nothing but your jump here. For example, if you want to talk about a player, played, played, plays, playing, play. All this comes under your single word called as play. You can call it as action words or you can call it as stem words. But generally, when they explain you, when you tell in an interview, don't tell it as stem base word or action word. Tell it as stem words. Stem words. Write down these points. Collection of documents is called as corpus. Each single document is called as record, is called as document. Quirks of language systems with typos like this, just write down in a simple words. It should be only 3 to 4 lines, including all the explanation part. Done? Is it done? Please respond. If it is done, at least tell yes. Instead of yes, at least type yes. Okay, fine. So the next topic is your understanding part. So let me explain you. How does it work? How does it work? See, you should understand what is DTM and TDM. So this is very important. This everything works only on your DTM and TDM in your text mining. So even though if they ask you that you have worked on data text mining, they will ask you what do you mean, how does it work? So try to understand. So this DTM is nothing. Let me just DTM. So DTM stands for document. Write it. Document. T stands for term. TERM. M stands for matrix. M stands for matrix. So document term matrix, like your row column matrix. Row column matrix. This is your rows and columns, right? This is your rows and this is your columns. Row column matrix, document term matrix. So DTM stands for document term matrix. Now, what is this document term matrix? So document term matrix in the sense, so as I told you, single document is called as your 1-1 reviews. First review, second review written by Bharat, Murali, Ratnesh, Lahari, third, fourth. For example, like this, multiple reviews have been written. Now, so this is first document, second document, third document, fourth document. D means your row. Document means row. C means, sorry, T means term. Term is nothing but your column. So if Bharat has written, hello, how are you? Hello, I'm just taking an example. Hello, how are you? So here, hello will be first word, first column, second column will be how, third column will be are, fourth column will be you. It will be your data will be converted into your matrix format, that is your tabular format. Tabular format. Okay, now Murali might have written I am good, but hello, how are you is here. I am good. I am good will be added next to this. And Ranjit, Rakesh or Ratnesh has written something else. He might have written some stories, whatever it is. Hey, this product is not good. This is of cheap quality. That is of quality. All these keywords will be here. And Lahari has written just good. That will also be added as a column. That will also be added as column. So this is your document on row wise, and term wise it will be your keywords. Terms nothing but words. So this is called as your document term matrix. Document term matrix. So just write down what do you mean by document term matrix. Just put one small table and write down first one, second one, third one document, fourth one document, and in your column wise write the words good, bad, better, best, awesome, excellent, hello, how are you, everything. That is your document term matrix. So coming to your TDM. TDM stands for term document matrix. Term document matrix. This is opposite to your transpose of your DTM. That's it. So earlier it was row column matrix. Earlier it was DTM. Now it is row column matrix. Means your row wise it will be your words good, hello, bad, awesome, excellent will be on your row wise. Will be on your row wise. And you can see your columns will be on your documents. First Bharat, second Ratnesh, third Manjunath, fourth Rakesh, fifth Imran, like this. So like this, each and every person's first document, second document, third document will be on your column wise, and your terms will be on your row wise. That is called as your term document matrix. That is called as your term document matrix. Generally we go with what? Generally we go with what? DTM. Generally we go with DTM if you're having large data, and you can do it in TDM also. I'll show you how to change this. It is a simple one. Either you do it in DTM or TDM, your answers will be same. But generally we go with DTM in your real time. You can use this also. But you should know how to change this DTM and TDM when you execute it. So you should use a function called as matrix. Matrix is equal to 2 and 1. If you use 1, it will be, I think, DTM. Sorry, if it is TDM, and if you use 2, matrix is equal to 2, it will be DTM. It will be DTM. Write down TDM and DTM. DTM and TDM. Okay, fine. So let us try to understand with respect to your slides now. See, DTM and TDM is fine. Now let us try to understand TF and this table. Based on this table, I'm going to explain this once again, and this and this. So documents on your row wise, keywords on your column. These are the keywords, terms. So this is called as your DTM. So now this part is called as term frequency or term sum. Term frequency, or you can call it as term sum.
Yogesh,
Yes.
this is Manju. Is there any tool which will, process any reviews and it will transform it as a TDM or DTM or?
You have to do it in program R or Python.
Okay,
I'll show you.
okay,
I'll show you. That is the reason.
okay,
That is the reason I kept your
mm,
Nibase as it is. So after explanation of
okay,
this,
okay.
I'm going to show you
Mm-hmm.
how to convert this your text data. For example, you will write there is a category, right? So your spam mails and non-spam mails,
Mm-hmm.
right? You need not have to go to
Mm-hmm.
NLTK
Yeah, yeah.
also, Sanjay. Sanjay, that is an
Mm-hmm.
advanced algorithm. You need not have to go to that part. Directly, you can
Mm-hmm.
convert. Hello, how are you? All these things. See, for example, you're getting, please send your contact details. I'm going to send you $1 million cash. Is it spam or non-spam?
Spam. It is spam.
It is spam, right? So if it is spam, you should reading this example itself, these keywords itself, your machine learning algorithm should classify this into spam. Now one more mail, it will read the second mail, third mail, like this. It is going to read everything and it is going to assign whether it is spam or ham. So like this, you're going to do using R or Python. There is no, you can do it in any other tools also. You can do it in R and Python also. R, Python, SAS, MATLAB, Weka, Julie, anything you can do. Now coming to this part, term sum is nothing but your how many times this keyboard word is used in your data. See, the total number of keyword is used, keyboard is used 200 times, USB is used 50 times, free is used 100 times, hard is used 80 times. This is called as your term frequency, or you can call it as term sum. And this part, totally how many documents we have? 100 reviews we have, 100 documents we have, and this is called as your document frequency. So document frequency, you can call it as TF-IDF. Term frequency inverse document frequency. Term, write down this very important keyword, they might ask you in interview. If you tell term frequency inverse document frequency. term frequency inverse document frequency. What is this term frequency inverse document frequency? Is nothing but discounts the term frequency by document frequency. Totally how many documents we have? That is 100 documents. So term frequency is keyboard is used 200 times. So discounts the term frequency, discounts this 200 by document frequency. Document frequency is 100 documents. So 200 divided by 100 is how much? 200 is your term frequency, that is your keyboard. Keyboard is used 200 times, and this is your number of documents. How many documents we have? 100 documents. 200 by 100 is nothing but your 2. That is nothing but your document frequency, or you can call it as discounts the TF by document frequency. Discounts the TF by document frequency. Write down this. Like this, USB is used 50 times. So 50 divided by 100, it is 0.5. And what about this? 100 by 100 is 1. 80 by 100 is how much? 80 by 100.
0.8. 4 by 5.
0.8, right? But why it is 0.75? Any idea on this?
The total sum is 1. Not 1, sorry.
Total?
Sorry. No.
No, it's not like that. It is just a silly typing mistake. Don't take it into consideration. It should be 0.8. While writing, I missed it as 0.75. That's it. Nothing else. It is 0.8. You're using your common sense a lot here now. You're using a lot of your common sense. Why it is instead of points, omitting zeros, omitting 2, add that, this and all. So it is nothing. It is just a spelling mistake. Now, every time you cannot read all the reviews. Consider that you have purchased your television. For example, you might be using old BPL TV television, or you might be using Sony TV, or you might be using some Samsung television. How many reviews would be there for Sony television?
Many.
Many. That how many? That is my question. It might be in millions, right? It might be in thousands or millions of reviews because old products. Yes. So you cannot compare to Samsung BPL, or might be having more, or Sony might be having more.
No, it should be less actually.
Whatever it is, I'm just giving an example. That's it. It can be less or more, whatever it is. You might have 1 lakh records, 1 lakh reviews, right? Globally, I'm talking globally, not only in India. I'm talking about global.
Maybe millions.
Maybe in millions, right? So if you get a job, but you should read all the reviews and tell me how many customers are talking positive or negative. Will you be able to read all 1 lakh reviews or millions of reviews?
No.
Why? By the time you complete your 1 million reviews, yes, too much of time, and also it is not possible. And also, if you keep on reading multiple times, by the time you complete all the reviews, another 1 million reviews might be generated. Yes or no?
Should take sample records. Sample
yes,
survey.
even though if you take sample records also, you cannot read. Okay, let me just take an example. Out of 1 billion reviews, you might take 1 million reviews as your sample. So this 1 million reviews will have how many words? One person might rate write review in one word. Another person might write one para. You have seen, right, reviews. Some reviews will be one para, 10 lines, 20 lines. But who will sit and read? Manually, it is impossible, right? So that is the reason there is something called as word cloud. There is something called as word cloud. So for this word cloud, what you need to do is you need to use a function called as word cloud in your R. Word cloud in your R, and you can do this. So don't worry about this until this level. You'll not go in your initial days for 2 to 3 years. I'm just giving just as a overview of how it works. So this is called as your word cloud. Means all the reviews you have put into a word called as corpus, right? File corpus. So you're going to build word cloud like this using that file. Means if your word cloud says that if this is a bigger size, the words are bigger in size, this word is used more number of times. This game word is used more number of times in your reviews. And second highest is like, music, use, good, can. And if you see these words, fine, pretty, lot, hive, IVE, people, plug, these are the words which are used for less number of times. These are the words which are used for less number of times. So this indicates this game is used more number of times in your reviews. So this is called as your word cloud. This is called as your word cloud. And also nowadays, if you go to your reviews, there is something called as critical reviews and positive reviews. So positive reviews are positive, critical reviews are negative reviews. So you can put everything into one text file. This one you can put it into one file, and you can build a positive word cloud and also negative word cloud separately. Positive word cloud and negative word cloud separately. See, this is called as your positive word cloud. This is called as your positive word cloud. So see, most of them are talking in a word called as great, like, good, enough, recommend, awesome, excellent, right? Sleek, effective, grand, easier, wonderful, upgraded, recommended, available, excited, excited. Right? So like this is called as your positive word cloud. If customer feedback system, even a single feedback is important, so not sure if sampling is relevant. So yeah, so that is also part, but 100% of the times you cannot read all the reviews, right, Sanjay? So that is where your sampling part comes into picture.
Yeah, Yogesh. So, my thought is whenever we do some sort of text mining on an existing customer feedback system, we want to know what is happening, right? When you talk about positive or negative, what is positive or what is negative? What is the most commonly frequently used terms used by your customers?
Yes, you can do that.
Yeah. So I think someone from us was discussing about taking out few samples to do some sort of analysis. So my thought is in customer feedback system, do we work on sampling? Because when you talk about millions of feedbacks.
No. Generally, we don't work on samples. We just put all the reviews into one text file, and then we will build this word cloud. But see, one thing I'll tell you, majority of the times, it is not only about your reviews or something. You can use something also, as I gave an example of your spam or AM mails. This can also be implemented over there. This can also be implemented over there.
Thank you.
Any other questions? So this is called as your positive word cloud. Similarly, you can build your negative word cloud. I'm going to show you the files as well, how it looks. So negative word cloud. See, in this negative word cloud, only the keyword is used, art is more number of times because of the bigger in size. And the next bigger size is wrong, problems, and problem. See here. Shocked, unfortunately, complaints, disappointing, problem, irritating, dead, limited, worse, miss. Are these positive words or negative words? Fat, break, downside, scratches, sadly, complain, drawback, joke, ashamed, swipe, rip off, impossible, died, useless. All these are your negative keywords. So instead of reading single reviews, you can completely post your negative word cloud and you can build a negative word cloud, and you can identify how many types of negative words are being used in my reviews for my products, and out of that how many times this one is been, see, hard is used more number of times, hard is used more number of times. Now, so now I'll show you the data part, how it looks, for example purpose, how it looks. I've not received everyone's KNN part. I'm waiting for KNN algorithm.
I think we already sent you.
Oh, some of them
I
I've
already
sent. I'm not
sent
telling
you.
everyone. Yeah. Some of them I've sent. Some of them have pinged me the photos on this thing. And I think Ranjini, has sent, I guess. One sec. Let me just see. How about them, Sanjay?
No, I'm here to send you, Yogesh. I'll send you by tomorrow. I was traveling this weekend.
Fine. Not a problem. Okay. So I'm going to show you the stop words data and also your classification data part over there. So let me just. Positive PUS positive. Yes. So let me just open this location and let me show you what is positive words, how it looks. So this is your positive words. So this is your positive keywords dictionary. You can see here some words are there. You can see there is no space. Here you can see this. From here it is awesome, and here it is awesomely, and here it is awesomeness, awesome, awestruck, awesome back, backbone, balance, economical, or something is there. Economical, something is there. Economicalistics or something is there. And here you can see fashionable, fashionably, fast, growing fast, listening, humility, humor, humorous, humorly, overtaken, overtakes, overtaking, overtook, like this. So these are your positive keywords. So what are the positive keywords we are going to use in your reviews? Everything would be positive reviews like this. So like this, you should also use one more called as negative. Let me see where, yes, here only you can see negative words. So this is your negative words dictionary part. So by seeing this, your reviews you are going to extract, right? That one can be compared with this data, and it will say that how many words are used, how many times, what are the different negative words which are used. And also I'll show you the stop words. Let me show you the stop words. See, these are your stop words, like as I told you, right? And, all, or, of, the. So these are your multiple stop words which are there. So you can use this also, and also directly you can use a function called as stop words, and also you can use word called as stop words. These are called as your stop words. And you should load all these things. Next session, I'm going to show you how to implement your Naive and Python. For that also, I'm going to show you the data now for Naive and your this thing. Data for your Naive algorithm. The data set is called as SPAM. The data set is called as SPAM. See, this is your data. You're having two columns. You're having two columns only. See, first column is your type of mail, and second column is your data, means your message. Screen is not refreshing. One sec. Let me refresh.
Refreshing very slowly, actually.
Okay, fine. Now others.
Yeah, no, sir.
Yeah, I can see now.
Okay, so this first is called as your type of mail. This first column is called as your type of mail, and the second column is nothing but your, it's not writing. So this is your data. The first column is nothing but your ham or spam. Ham or spam, and you should read this message. Go until Jurong Pond crazy, available only in bugs in Great World. You should classify them into ham or spam. So first what you should do is you should convert this message into your document, means for all these records. So first thing is all these 5,573 records you're having means 5,573 CV documents. And by reading all these messages, it should be able to classify whether ham or spam. So first thing is what it does is it is going to collect all these records and create one corpus. Means each and every record is considered as your single reviews, right? So I'm going to build first your corpus, then on that corpus I'm going to clean your data. Means you can see here there is some numbers, and here you can see there is some symbols, and here you can see there is something. So you can remove all this, remove punctuations, all these things you can remove. I'm going to create first my corpus, then I'm going to clean my data. Cleaning my data in the sense removing your punctuation marks, stop words, connectors, converting everything into one case, either lowercase, uppercase, or proper case. And then after that I am going to split your data into training and test, and then I'm going to convert your data into document term matrix. Document term matrix. Document term matrix or term document matrix. Based on the document term matrix and term document matrix, I'm going to analyze how many times this particular tough word keyword is used. Or see here, you can read this message. As per your request, mele mele oru minu minuginte nurungo vettam has been set as your caller tune. So this is your something like your ham or spam, whatever it is. So it is some local language also. So here you can then have a date on Sunday with will, or whatever it is. So you are going to read all these things, and then you are going to classify them into ham or spam. So like this, you are going to read your data, and based on this reading data, you should classify this into this or this. But here it is not, your programming will not be that much easy, as we have discussed about your linear regression, logistic regression, clustering, KNN, Naive, Python, until decision tree is random forest. Now this will be slightly complicated, because you need to convert your text data into your tabular format. Not that much difficult, but you should remember some of the functions, packages, like your text mining, and there is some N2CUT of all these things you need to remember. So it might take some slightly for a fresher or a newbie, it is something like difficult to learn this, but try to make sure that at least you remember the theory concept. If you go for interview, if they tell you that, okay, this is my text data, I'm going to convert that into my this thing, and I'm going to convert that into we'll only use those things. So we'll try to implement first in R or first in Python, then we'll jump into the next topic. After this text mining, so did we complete your decision trees?
No, I haven't.
Decision trees we have
Not
not done.
started actually. Not done.
Okay, fine. So then tomorrow we'll after tomorrow's naive-based theory part, we'll go and implement your decision trees. And that is easy, nothing to worry. Like, it is also one of the classification algorithm. So for others, if you don't know, especially for apart from Satish, Muralidhar, and one sec. Apart from Satish and Muralidhar, if you don't know naive-based algorithm and also text mining, you can start. If you are okay with the preparation, we can start applying for the jobs. You can start applying for the jobs. If anybody is ready, please send me your CV. If I think Devanshu, you are ready, right? Devanshu, you are ready?
Yeah.
Okay, if you are ready, please send me your CV, because I have some openings in Bosch. I can refer you immediately.
Okay, sure.
Okay, and for others, if you are ready, and if you are not ready also, try to dedicate at least 15 days or 20 days, whatever it is, try to, including decision trees. Tomorrow, next topic, what I'm going to teach, including that, I'm telling you. So if you don't know text mining and time series forecasting, what we do, that is not mandatory. Means that is not mandatory. If you know, it is well and good. That's it. If you know, it is well and good.
Yogesh,
Yes.
this is Bharat.
Yes, Bharat.
Actually, I'm having 7.5 years of experience.
7.5 years, not a problem, Bharat, but you should be showing only 2.2 years or 2.5 years in data science.
Okay. So you mean to say that for me also I can start applying for the right now?
If you are okay with all the topics, linear regression, logistic regression, decision trees, KNN, Naive, and whatever we have discussed, statistics part, clustering part, PCA part, all these algorithms, if you are okay, you can start. Are you ready with all those things? With theory part, if I ask you questions, you should be able to answer that. That is more important.
Okay.
Okay. So
Yeah.
Rakesh and Manju and Ratnesh, you should also concentrate because Rakesh, I think Rakesh and Manju will be taking some, you'll be coming to office, right? So that's not a problem. And Imran, as you told, you should dedicate 1 more month, Imran, 1 to 2 months, so that you can complete everything. And if others, if you're ready, you can start preparing your CV also. I'm going to give you some sample CV links and all, CVs, and also I'm going to send you. And also, apart from that, I'll give you some 2 to 3 projects. I'm going to send you the PPTs of those one project, and another 2 projects I'm going to send you something else. But you should convert according to your company. If your company is a product based company, don't do it. If your company is service based industry, if you have multiple projects, you can convert your existing projects by putting something else. So each of them, I'm going to explain you how to convert your existing CV in terms of requirement for the companies. That is a one-to-one session over the call. Because each and everyone will have different experience and different domain, and also requirement will be different. So that's the reason your CV preparation I'm going to take you with respect to sample CVs I'm going to send you, and you should contact me individually for that. But before that, please try to make sure that you're thorough with all the topics whatever we have taught till today. And one more is decision trees. I'll start it that. And once you are ready with that, please try to take 1 round of mock interview with me before applying for companies. And also try to update your LinkedIn profile. Please try to update your LinkedIn profile. It is very important. It's very important.
Yogesh, this is Dipanshu.
Yes, Dipanshu.
Yeah, you said that you'll give some interview questions.
Yeah, I'm going to send you that, and also your this one, sample CVs. I'm going to
Yeah,
send
because
you.
I don't have any idea about what kind of questions they're going to ask.
No, that, see, if you know already, you'll only prepare on those things. That is the reason I was telling you to first, if you're ready, take 1 round of mock interview.
Okay.
Can we have
But
tomorrow
then
mock interview session? Is that fine for everyone
tomorrow,
in the class? If you everyone are fine, I can take tomorrow in the class itself. Means instead of having a regular class, I can have it an interview session from your basic statistics till today. How about Rakesh, Manju, Murli, Satish? Can you please respond, everyone?
Why don't you,
Huh?
Yogesh, I think my suggestion is that you can take the daily actually, but 15 to 20 minutes after the class.
No. 15 to 20 minutes, I'll not be free. That's the reason.
I think it will be better if we like take 2 days time and then you do it on Wednesday or Thursday.
Fine. It is up
Yeah.
to you. It is up to you. If you want, you can take 2 days time or 3 days time. How about Bharat,
better.
Lahari, Mega?
Yogesh,
When you
if
will
you
be
give
ready?
some 2 days of time, we'll glance everything and
Yeah, that is what I'm asking you. When 2 days of time means you are not telling the date.
Thursday.
How about on Friday or something like that? Friday?
Friday is a holiday, I guess.
Friday, I think we have festival. Probably if you are not okay with that, again we'll be postponing it. So that's the reason I'm asking you. Can we take on Thursday?
Yeah, Thursday
Yeah,
will be
yeah.
better.
Thursday will be fine.
Thursday?
Yeah.
So Thursday we'll have 1.5 hours of 1.5 hour of questions. So you should not tell your questions. I'm going to ask you individually. You should tell. If that person is not going to tell, then only others should answer. It should not something like in a group. Concentrate until whatever we have discussed until today. Until it is something like a brush up class. It will be a brush up as a part of theory part. And also,
Yeah, it'll be very
not
good.
about just theory part. I'm going to ask you the functions. Remember that. Functions. You should explain me. If you talk about an algorithm called as decision tree, you should explain me that. If I ask about your linear regression, what is the function? How do you measure the performance? What does this particular function does? What does this particular code does? I might ask in that way.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Okay, fine. And if possible, one day I'll be taking you how to, when you go to a company, how to start up your projects. What all you should do that. I'm going to take that as a one day session. What all you should concentrate when you start a new project, when you get into a company. So Thursday will be an interview session, and I'll be sending you the sample CVs by tomorrow on interview questions. And interview questions, okay, I'll send you before taking itself. But if I send it before taking it itself, it will be same questions. That's the reason. I'll think and I'll send you the sample CVs first. Okay, so tomorrow again same time. Tomorrow we'll complete your R part, and after tomorrow we'll complete your Python part, and then Thursday we'll have interview session. After that, next week we'll complete your sessions. Like you're having one more decision trees. Decision trees hardly we need 2 days, hardly maximum. And one more algorithm I'm going to explain you, that is called as your association rules. It is also called as your market basket analysis. Just I'm going to give a simple overview how it works. And it is used in very, very less number of companies, but it's an important, interesting one. Interesting one if you know it's well and good. And apart from that, a time series one algorithm I'm going to explain you, and probably that might require around 2 to 3 days of time. 3 days of time, 2 to 3 days. Okay, so please start preparing from today itself. And Devanshu and Bharat, if you're ready, if you are okay, others also you can send me your CVs. I have around 3 openings or 4 openings in Bosch. You can just send me. Okay, thank you all. Thank you. Good night.